The Retirement Cafe podcast, episode 48, The Power of Tai Chi as We Age, with Mark Peters. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Retirement Cafe podcast, which is brought to you by retirement planning specialist MFP Wealth Management. Now, when you hear mention of Tai Chi, most people conjure up an image of people in parks throughout China performing this wonderfully relaxing exercise early in the morning. In fact, I lived in Hong Kong for a little while, and on my way to work, I would see people doing these moves, strange moves early in the morning, and often wonder what they were doing. But study after study is proving that this lesser-known martial art has numerous benefits for our health. This week, I am joined on the podcast by Mark Peters. Now, Mark is somewhat of an oracle on Tai Chi, having been practicing for 30 years. He is an executive committee member of the Tai Chi Union of Great Britain, has competed at 2 world championships, and now delivers classes and multiple programs to a variety of groups. A very warm welcome to the podcast, Mark.
Hi there. Yeah, good morning. Hi.
Good morning. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Tai Chi.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm an engineer by background, and I was looking for a hobby that was not work. And,
Right.
I like the idea of martial arts, but never really found anything that suited. And then I started to read about Tai Chi and realized it's a sort of, it's a martial art of mind and body. And although everyone moves slowly, and you see them in the parks, as you say, it's for fighting. It's originally, in English, it actually means Supreme Ultimate Boxing. So Tai Chi Chuan means Supreme Ultimate Boxing.
Okay.
And so that fascinated me. And then it wasn't aggressive, so it wasn't the way I expected things to be. And I started training, and then I got hooked. And so I'd take my wife was very understanding. I would take my holidays, and I'd go and train in Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, which was sort of holiday come training. So immersion for a month at a time. It was fantastic.
Gosh, and so, I mean, tell me about what 30 years. I mean, that's quite a period of time. Tell me about the benefits that you believe that it's provided to you.
More calm, centered being. So because it's a sort of balanced approach to life, it helps you be more aware of where you are in space. I remember as an engineer, people were suffering a lot with carpal tunnel from using your mouse and your computer. It was a real problem back then, but I didn't seem to have a problem because I was using my posture differently, using my hands and body movement differently, so I didn't. It kept me fit and strong. I would say everybody in my family has got quite a lot of chronic conditions, diabetes, arthritis, a whole range of things, and I don't seem to have any of that, and I put that down to that because my younger brothers and sister, they just the same as my mum and dad and my uncles, but I don't have any of it.
Wow. And so how, I mean, do you call it a Tai Chi practice? Is that the right word? And how often would you practice your Tai Chi each day?
Me personally, every day. Yeah,
it is daily.
Yeah, just like you said, you saw people in the parks in the morning. I get up in the morning, I practice my Tai Chi, I take my dogs for a walk and start the day.
Wow.
And then I teach Tai Chi in the park to groups that are interested, and yeah. So it is an integral part of my whole day.
Fantastic. And kind of give me an amount of time that did you practice in the morning?
I do 1 hour to 2 hours every morning. It all depends. If I'm just doing it for me, about an hour. If I'm running a class, and I'll do an hour for me, and I'll do an hour for them.
Gosh, fantastic. And there's our audience are retirees. That's the the nature of the Retirement Cafe, and keeping fit in retirement, and for older people as people old, if you type into Google, what is Tai Chi, you get an all myriad of kind of results. And how would you explain it to somebody who was just kind of interested, i.e., that they may have not taken it on and they're in their 60s and they're thinking about, okay, I need something to keep me well.
Okay, well, yeah. For physios and so on, we talk about Tai Chi as being musculoskeletal rehabilitation. This is why it's so popular in the hospitals. But for a general tired person, Tai Chi helps you improve your balance and mobility, so it's not affected by age or medical conditions. It sounds a bit ridiculous. I've got to find a nicer way of putting this, but there's only two reasons you can't do Tai Chi. One, you find it boring, or two, you're dead. And there's no other reason. There's no medical condition that stops you. So,
Right.
and yeah, our oldest student is 104,
Wow.
and she started when she was 100. And a youngest student actually was pre-birth, so the mother came pregnant and then had the child, and then the child's been coming ever since then. So obviously carried first and then playing outside, and now sort of about 5 joins in or wanders around. But yeah,
fantastic. And so you mentioned that there's some, the NHS is interested in Tai Chi. Tell me about how that's kind of how that's morphed into helping out in the NHS.
Okay, well in the early 90s, a primary care trust, it was called back then, contacted me to look at Tai Chi Falls Prevention, because there's all this research coming out. It stated something like 12% of improvement with general exercise, 20% or 25% improvement through specific balance exercises, and a 43% improvement through doing Tai Chi and reduction in falls.
Wow.
So they asked me to train some physiotherapists and occupational therapists to introduce Tai Chi initially in the hospital and then in community classes. And it's really grown since then. I run the NHS website for Tai Chi for rehabilitation, so that other hospitals can read the information. And I regularly run courses training staff so they can deliver Tai Chi for falls prevention, for stroke recovery, for cardiac rehab. We were featured on Trust Me, I'm a Doctor earlier in the year, when we did a comparative study with the university between Tai Chi and Zumba.
Okay.
And what they expected was Tai Chi would improve your balance and relaxation. Zumba would be cardio, and that's what their fitness.
Yes.
What they found was both Tai Chi and Zumba had the same cardio impact. So in effect, Tai Chi is as aerobic as Zumba.
Wow.
And they were shocked by that. That's why we got featured on the TV. That wasn't our aim to get on the TV. They found out about the research, and Dr. Michael Mosley thought it'd be a good program. So, he joined in, and yeah.
So, whereabouts are you based, Mark?
In Birmingham.
In Birmingham. So you're dealing with NHS trusts, etc., across the kind of the West Midlands area, I presume.
Yes. I mean, people travel. I used to travel, but now I don't. If you want to come on the training course, you come to the course. It's in Birmingham, and then you train and take it back to your hospital. We've had people come from Ireland and Scotland, as well as around the UK, various parts of the UK. So, yes, the club I run runs classes in the Midlands, but the Tai Chi Union, which I'm a board member now because it's changed to community interest, and we have a register for the whole of the UK.
Right. And so how easy is it for people to find out about Tai Chi in their area?
Well, you can literally just Google Tai Chi Union for Great Britain, look on the register, and then find a local class. The main thing is, when you find a class, speak to the instructor and ask about their experience in the area that you're interested in. Because like anything, there are excellent people, and also there are hangers-on. And you shouldn't judge a field by some of the people that are in it, really. So find a good teacher, and they'll be able to explain to you how you'll benefit for your health, how your balance will improve, how your mobility will improve, how your circulation will improve. Some people are just interested in Tai Chi for health, just Tai Chi as an exercise. Some people are interested in the whole of Tai Chi as an art, so the philosophy, the martial applications, the weapons, the whole myriad of stuff is there. Yeah, it's always available.
Now, I can imagine I'm nearing my 50s, and I can imagine that, the idea of turning up to a Tai Chi class and starting a martial art, at this moment in my life, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm up for it. So what would let's say that I wanted to do it. What would I expect it to kind of discover in the first, or experience in the first class that I turned up to?
Okay, you'd start to work on Qigong, which means breathing exercise. So you start to work on just gentle exercises to loosen your joints, to start to coordinate your breath and movement, to get a sense of your balance. And you can really work as hard as you like, or as gentle as you like. That's why there is no ailment that stops people. People who are fitter and want it to be more of a workout, we just relax in the legs a lot more, so to do a lot more weight bearing, and extend the movements a lot more. Most often we find the biggest thing we end up doing is telling people to slow down, because they think exercise requires hyperactivity. And we say, no, just relax and move, and you'll be surprised.
Fantastic. And you mentioned there about the breathing, and I know that's quite a key concept. And I think that you've done some work with the NHS regarding, lung impairments and COPD and heart failure and that type of thing. Tell me about why the NHS is particularly interested in Tai Chi for those ailments.
Okay. Well, for example, with a standard pulmonary rehab, so someone's got COPD, emphysema, something like that. When they're put through rehabilitation, it's usually circuit training to try and strengthen their muscles. But unfortunately, when people aren't used to exercising, when they go on a treadmill, maybe it's going too quick for them, or they have difficulty and hold the breath a bit, go into a slight panic because of feeling breathless. Because there's this belief that if you're slightly out of breath, then it must be part of your condition, so the anxiety kicks in. Whereas with Tai Chi, it's about balance and relaxation. So the focus is on the movement and the natural breathing. So your movement coordinates with your breath. And we found even when we make it quite active, and we check people's oxygen levels, doing Tai Chi, they don't desaturate, so they don't lose oxygen compared to a treadmill or a bike. Yet they're getting the same level of activity. That's why the NHS is interested.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that there's huge benefits, and yeah, from the lung dysfunction and coming back to the falling. I know that I know every doctor I've spoken to, and some of the doctors we've spoken to previously on the podcast have mentioned, as you get older, the chance of falling and how that can debilitate you, because obviously trying to recover from an injury is significant.
Yeah.
So if Tai Chi can help you not fall, that must be quite an amazing benefit.
Yeah.
So if we need to kind of leave our listeners with one kind of piece of information about Tai Chi, what would it be? What would your message be?
I guess Tai Chi is a balance for life. That's the thing. It's a balance for life. It helps you be aware where the ground is, which seems a bit silly, but what causes trips and falls is not sensing where the ground is and where you are in space. So dancing is excellent too. Dancing is an excellent form of exercise. And so Tai Chi is a mind and body approach to exercise. It involves being present, so it's naturally mindful, which everyone knows how popular that's becoming. And the one thing I would leave people with is that everybody can do it. There's nobody who can't.
No.
One of the reasons the NHS got interested, you just thought about this, was around falls prevention. Is the most researched method of falls prevention is called Otago, from Otago University, and it's shown to be highly effective, but it's not very interesting. And so what they find is patients improve from doing it, but a large percentage don't continue to practice because they find it boring.
Yeah.
Whereas Tai Chi has all the same work in it, but it's involved in a whole series of movements. So it's more socially interactive, and therefore more people enjoy it. And when they enjoy exercise, like anything, they want to do it more. And so the classes become very social, and people, improve by accident, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I trying to just think about, is it hard?
Well, in the one part class I run, I know the person who organised it often shouts out, "Don't worry, it's those first 30 years. After that, it gets easy." But so, what I would say is, if you are treating Tai Chi as a social activity, as an exercise, then it's no harder than any other form in terms of learning. If you want to study it as a discipline, then again, it's as hard as the effort you want to put in. When I was in Malaysia, I used to train for up to 10 hours a day. So I would do 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock, and then we'd have breakfast, and then a couple of hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the evening.
Wow.
But it's not a requirement. Most students do an hour a week, or maybe they'll practice for half an hour a day at home. They'll watch YouTube or a DVD. And we found that some of the students that were not getting out, and they noticed us doing a class in the park or an advert locally, they come and join in, and they enjoyed the social interaction as much as the activity, and now go to 3 or 4 classes a week.
Fantastic.
That's good. But one patient, one guy who was originally a patient from the hospital in the cardiac study, he improved so much. Well, two in the same group. They improved so much that they're now out teaching classes.
Wow, brilliant. And I can imagine that, of course, forgive me if I've got this wrong, but presumably, other than kind of loose-fitting clothes and a pair of good shoes or trainers or something, you don't actually need any equipment.
No, that's it. Absolutely perfect. That's why you see people on their way to work. When we train in Asia, people would turn up, do an hour, and then go to work. So you just wear loose, comfortable clothing, flat shoes or trainers, no special equipment.
Wow. And I mean, obviously, we've mentioned kind of heart disease and lung dysfunction, that type of thing. But I mean, if people have got, I don't know, bad hips, bad knees, bad backs, etc., that type of thing, does this prevent them joining in?
Not at all. We've had people, amputees, wheelchair bound, bad knees, bad backs, bad shoulders. So sometimes it's arthritis, sometimes it's seems like arthritis, but really it's lack of muscle tone or correct alignment, so bad ligament and tendon function. That's why Tai Chi is a rehabilitation exercise. It helps you get back into your own body, strengthen the muscles, strengthen the joints, and mobilize them. Often people struggle with bad shoulders because the muscles in the neck have got weaker as well, and they're not doing those kind of movements anymore because they drive or whatever they do. But once you start doing the Tai Chi movements, it works muscles that you forgot you had, and they gradually get stronger. A bit like when you go swimming. You go swimming, you haven't been for a long time, and you suddenly find new muscles you forgot you had. And Tai Chi is like that. But because it's a gentle way of exercising, you don't get the lactic acid, you don't get the chronic pain that you make. Sorry, not chronic. You don't get the pain that comes back in muscles that you haven't used for a long time. They will ache, but they will get stronger. We've had physios come along to a class to look at how they can put it into their service. And they've said, how do you get these people? I can't believe how hard they're working, but they don't look like they're working hard. I said, yes, because it's the gentle nature of it. It doesn't look like you're working hard. And so they join in and they get stronger, but it doesn't feel like exercise. In fact, most people don't even equate the word Tai Chi and exercise in the same statement, same phrase. So when you say, can I exercise? No, I'm not supposed to exercise, but I can do Tai Chi. But yeah, everyone can do it and people will benefit massively. We see people come on walking sticks. That sounds a bit like Lazarus, I realize this, but they'll come on walking sticks and then over weeks they'll start to improve. And then you find them using the sticks less, maybe one and none, because their balance improves and the muscle tone improves and their confidence improves.
Fantastic. There's nothing not to like here. So absolutely. I think this is brilliant. So, I really do appreciate your time today. Once again, where do people find out more about maybe the work that you do, and also, where their local Tai Chi organization would be?
Okay. Well, for training to deliver this kind of stuff, then my website is midlandstaichirehab.com, and you can also look on paintingtherainbow.co.uk for local classes. If you're outside of the Midlands, and if you go onto the Tai Chi Union website, just Google Tai Chi Union for Great Britain, the website will come up and there's a link for instructors. You just put in the area you are, and all of the people in that area will come up that are registered. The advantage of a register is you know that those people have been assessed, are fully insured, qualified.
Great. Well, we'll put all those links into the show notes so that people can to click on a link and go straight to those website addresses. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. So if you'd like to find out more about Mark and his classes and the great work he is doing with the NHS, you click on the show notes. Obviously, they'll be all there for at the retirementcafe.co.uk. If you've enjoyed this episode and you've not yet subscribed, then you can do so on our website, retirementcafe.co.uk, or in your preferred podcast player. To find out who's coming up next on the podcast, please visit the retirementcafe.co.uk /upcoming. If you'd like to get in touch, you can email me at info@retirementcafe.co.uk or connect with me on Twitter @JustinKingCFB. So until next time, this is Justin King helping you feel more informed in your retirement.